Did you know there are some pretty bad places to dine at Disney's Magic Kingdom? Don't worry though, we've got you covered, and today on Walt Disney World Adults Only, we're going to tell you the places that you should perhaps avoid. It's all going down. Welcome, your Royal Highnesses. I'm Dan and you're watching Walt Disney World Adults Only. Today we are going to do something a little bit different, for us at least. We're going to tell you all the restaurants at Magic Kingdom that we actively avoid, and of course we're going to tell you our reasons why. With me today we have Jackie, Carol, Mickey, Helen and Natalie, and they are each going to reveal a place at Magic Kingdom that they dislike. This is not going to be our most magical video, but it's going to be honest. Some of our choices are based upon poor personal experiences, and others are based upon menu options, theming, reviews and reputation. So lots to talk about today, and for the purposes of this video we are going to include all restaurants at Magic Kingdom, signatures, table service and quick service. Nothing is off the table. We already have 2 videos where we run through all the table service and all the quick service restaurants at Magic Kingdom, so I don't propose to go through all those again today, but I will link those 2 videos for you in the description down below. So this video today is only about the bad ones. Anyway, let's get started. Please subscribe and then tell me in the comments down below which is your own least favourite restaurant at Magic Kingdom, and of course tell me why. Who should we start with today? How about Helen?
Okay Dan, then I'm up first. I'll start with an apology to Eric, as I know that he named this one his favourite when we did our recent Magic Kingdom quick service restaurant video. My least favourite restaurant is Pecos Tall Tale Inn. This quick service restaurant is located in Frontierland, and I must admit I've only tried this restaurant once. Back in January 2020 we did the Keys to the Kingdom tour, and the restaurant for our lunch was at Pecos. We had to choose what we wanted for lunch at the beginning of the day, so I chose the chicken nachos and my partner chose the Angus beef burger. Now I have to say that I don't feel that the menu choices are that great unless you really like tacos, nachos or rice bowls. However, the price point is really good, with most things coming under $14. On arriving at the restaurant we were seated in a side area and it was quite pleasant surroundings, themed to an old west saloon. However, it was a bit noisy. Our food was already on the table for us when we arrived, and I feel like here lies the problem. It was absolutely stone cold. It was practically inedible. I do feel that this is possibly the worst food that I've ever had in Disney. With being on the tour and we were on a time schedule, we couldn't really get the food replaced, unfortunately. So now would I eat here again? Possibly not. It's not high up on my list of restaurants to try next time I visit Magic Kingdom. So Dan, Pecos is my worst restaurant in Magic Kingdom. Do you agree?
Actually Helen, I don't really agree, but I haven't yet tried it myself. It has never actually made my list of places to dine at before, but I went there once with a friend who ate there. I didn't have anything myself, but the food looked pretty good and the toppings bar looked really great. I would eat here though, I think. Eric says it's very good indeed. Helen versus Eric. Who wins? You decide. Tell me in the comments who's right. Let's go to Jackie next, and to a restaurant that really does divide opinion. In fact, this video also featured in our Magic Kingdom Best Restaurants video. Jackie, tell us your worst.
You're right, Dan. It is one of the most disagreed upon restaurants ever. So many people love it, but not me. Be Our Guest. Like Helen's choice, this was in the favorite videos too. Both Carol and Mickey love it. But let me explain why this is my worst restaurant. Okay, so Be Our Guest did not become one of my worst until my last visit back in 2019. This was for dinner, and this was way before the prefix menu. Kind of remember the food? It wasn't all that memorable. And the service wasn't awful. I have a couple of complaints though about this location. First, the main ballroom. While it is so beautiful, it is so loud. You'd think the Disney Imagineers would have figured out to tamp down that sound a little. My second complaint is how they brought out the food. While it was cute and all and a great presentation, the food usually got cold. So when did Be Our Guest really turn sour for me? Well, that'd be lunch back in 2019. This was back when they had the quick service lunch. I honestly hope they never bring that back. It's just not good. Between waiting in line for a kiosk to open, ordering, and then going to check out with an actual checkout person, and then having to find your own table. That took forever. The only reason we got our table because we spotted them cleaning our table. So at least one, we knew it was clean, and two, that it would be open soon. So my dad and I both ordered the turkey sandwich. Well, when they brought it out, it was just my dad's lunch. I'm not sure if things got lost in translation, but I had no meal. And honestly, I wasn't even hungry enough at the time to fight it. Either way, I say don't bring back the quick service. There's neither quick nor good service. Will I be giving this place a try in the future? Probably not. It's definitely not going to be on my list anytime soon. What are your thoughts on Be Our Guest, Dan? I know you've dined here many times.
Well, Jackie, I kind of have mixed feelings. I've dined at Be Our Guest 4 times, twice for breakfast, once for lunch, and once for dinner before it was the fixed price menu. The quick service breakfast and lunch here was actually horrible, but the dinner was really, really good, and the restaurant is so beautiful and you cannot take away the experience of meeting the beast. So for me, there's good and bad here. Overall, I think because of the dinner, I wouldn't say that this is the worst, but the breakfast and lunch here is a contender for sure. Horrible. Sorry, Carol, I know that you love it here, although I'm not sure if you've ever tried the quick service options here.
Yes, Dan, it is one of my favorite restaurants at Magic Kingdom. I did have quick service there before it went to the prefix menu. I had lunch. Even for me, the quick service was good. So I know I'm going to get a bunch of boos with my choice, but those that I ate at, Skipper Canteen was the least favorite. I wanted to like it. I'd heard such great things. I love Jungle Cruise. I was so expecting it to be that kind of humorous experience, interaction with the cast member, and it wasn't. Maybe we just didn't get a funny guy. The only humorous thing the waiter did was to put a wedge of paper under one of the legs of the table because the table was tipping so bad that my drink was sloshing around. And I will preface this all by saying I've only eaten there once and it wasn't great, so it's really not fair to the restaurant that I haven't tried it a second time, but I just haven't gotten around to it, so it is the bottom of my list. I started out with a jungle green salad with pistachio nuts. It was good, it was crisp, so far so good, a nice glass of Sauvignon Blanc. This is going to be a great experience. I had the Hearty Har char pork, which I thought would be tender and moist because it was a marinated pork. I needed a steak knife to cut that thing. It was just a tough piece of meat and honestly didn't have a lot of flavor to it. My husband had the Dr. Falls signature New York strip, which is his favorite cut. He ordered it medium rare, so again, it shouldn't be tough by overcooking. He said it was very stringy and tough and just not a lot of flavor. Our entrees were not good. Now, what might bring me back was the Congolese chocolate cake. I think that's how you pronounce it. That was delicious. But I can't base a whole dining experience on a dessert alone. But anyways, that's what puts Skipper Canteen at the bottom of my list. I know you don't agree with me on this one, Dan. In fact, I think it's one of your favorite restaurants at Magic Kingdom.
Yes, it's probably my second favourite table service at Magic Kingdom, and I know it's Natalie's number 1. We have a video all about Jungle Skipper Canteen, which I'll link for you down below, if you want to watch that to get a greater understanding of why Carol is so wrong. Speaking of Natalie, let's go to her next. Where's your choice, Nat?
Thanks, Dan. Now, I have to say, I completely agree with you. Carol is so wrong. The Jungle Skipper Canteen is a fantastic restaurant. It's definitely one of my favourites, and I can't wait to dine there again. What was she thinking? Now, when you're looking for a least favourite restaurant, I think you have to think about Pinocchio Village House. It is definitely my least favourite one, and it's not one that I really want to even try out. I've not really heard very good reviews of this place, and it's not something that I've ever heard anybody say, "Ooh, they must go here." It doesn't really fill me with confidence that it would be a great restaurant. Pinocchio Village House is located in Fantasyland in Magic Kingdom, and it's open for lunch and dinner. It costs around $15 per adult here, and it's mainly serving flatbreads or pizza. It's a pretty boring menu for me, and I'm not actually a massive pizza fan, and I think that plays a big part in it for me as well. There is a bit of a redeeming factor, and that is the Monstro room, and this room overlooks the It's a Small World loading area, so that could be quite a cool dining location. However, I don't think that would cinch the deal for me, and I think I'd just be happy to see the photos. Now, I know you agree with me on this one, Dan. I have heard you say that you wouldn't dine here, right?
It's one of two that I would never choose to dine at. Mickey actually shares my second one. Do you want to tell us about it now, Mickey?
I sure will, Dan. It's Tony's Town Square restaurant, and I know that you're with me on this one. So I haven't actually eaten here, and I don't plan to either. It's really not on my list, and that's for a number of reasons. I have not heard good things about this restaurant at all. Its reviews are not good, and recently Jackie went on her solo trip and did a vlog about it, which we will put the link in the description for you, and she didn't have the best experience there. Honestly, having been to Italy on a number of occasions, I am a huge fan of Italian food, and this restaurant in particular doesn't seem to get it right. From what I've seen, I think the theming of the restaurant is good. It's in Main Street in Magic Kingdom, and it is based around Lady and the Tramp. I've seen that it's got the really cute little footprints outside from Lady and the Tramp. It's got a lovely fountain statue inside. But if I'm gonna pay to eat at a restaurant, I want it to have good food, and my understanding is that this restaurant doesn't have that, and therefore it is definitely bottom of my Magic Kingdom list. So Dan, that's everyone. What about you? What is your worst?
Thanks, Mickey. The worst I've personally experienced is the breakfast and lunch at Be Our Guest. 3 times bad. Cold, poor quality, small portions, overly busy, and long waits to eat. It was horrible, but as I said, dinner here was lovely. It was the complete opposite experience. I loved it. Now, there are 2 restaurants that I will not ever bother with: Tony's Town Square and Pinocchio Village House. The reputation and the menu at these 2 places are the main reasons for this choice. The menu at Pinocchio's just doesn't tempt me at all, and the food doesn't even look appetizing in the photos. Disney does not typically do good pizza in theme parks, and as you probably already know, I do not like tomato. And Tony's just has the worst reputation. With all the choice at Walt Disney World of places to eat, I'm just never going here. I remember the Diz team doing a dine-in review here, and they concluded that the sauces were canned and that the food was frozen. I love Jungle Skipper Canteen, Liberty Tree Tavern and the Crystal Palace, and I still need to try the Plaza too. So I'm in agreement with Mickey, Natalie, and to a certain extent with Jackie too. Anyway, over to you, our lovely viewer. Please tell us, do you agree with any of us? And if you don't, please tell us why not. Tell us why we're wrong. We'd love to hear from you. For now, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate your support. Team, it's outro time.
If you like this video, please click like, giving us a big thumbs up.
And remember to hit subscribe and that bell notification icon so you know when the next video lands.
Please tell us in the comments below what types of videos you'd like to see from our channel in the future.
If you're not already a member of our fantastic adult-only Facebook group, please join today.
The link is in the description below.
And as always, remember, never grow up.